Yeah.
And I was like, no, I didn't vomit. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to everyone else, I've just shit myself in the backseat of the Uber. I'll tell you exactly what I said in my head when I shit myself. I went, SpaghettiOs.
I don't want to be pulled up.
GMat.
Is there anything for dessert or something? Oh, Mario! Oh my God!
Whoa.
Hometown Spider-Man.
Yay. I need help with doing a push-up.
This is still going?
Yep.
Fuck you too.
Bikes. That's good. For anyone wondering, that's from To Catch a Predator. Not To Catch a Predator. To Scared Straight. When you said I gotta cover up this bunda. I'm gonna have to blur it out. What is it? Just fucking give yourself a little more tug. You got loads of room for some tug. There you go.
Daddy help. Can you be Crazy Chris?
Oh, okay. No. Crazy Chris is the one who's like, my name's Crazy Chris. And from now on, you're gonna see me in your dreams. Yeah, this is the Hold My Pocket guy. He goes, what you in for?
Stealing?
The fuck you took?
Bikes?
Hold my pocket.
I'm gonna make you suck dick for breakfast. I hate breakfast.
I don't like breakfast. I've been watching a lot of To Catch a Predator. That's why it was in my brain.
Are you just watching the episodes that you're on?
It's the one on repeat. It is like
She's 13.
I thought she was 11. They're yeah, I should watch some Scared Straight. That's what I've been doing most nights now. Is I just eat a bunch of food and then watch.
I thought you were gonna say eat ass.
Watch To Catch a Predator. But if you should go back to that show because all it is, it's just like occasionally they catch a guy who's like just a down to his core evil pedophile. But 9 out of 10 of them are just half.
Smooth
Is
transition.
it the guy? My name's Chris Hansen.
I'm Chris Hansen. Like they'll come in
And they go, no, you're not.
No, you're not. They'll come in like one of them comes in. He's in like full cerebral palsy, like fucking crutches coming in, and the girl's like, hey, and he's like, hello, and they're like, no, he's not mentally ill. He's physically.
He's physically
unwell.
He got hit by a truck.
No, I
and
think
he
he
lived.
I think he might have. I don't know what he's got. Point is, he hobbles in there, and he's like, "Are you ready for a good time?" And they're like, "No, they're not mentally ill. I'm allowed to do that accent."
This will be the last podcast, everyone.
Also, he's a pedophile.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Come after me for making fun of a pedophile? Fuck
Joking.
off.
Smooth transition.
So he goes and he goes, no, and then he's got like a plastic bag just filled to the brim with dildos and
Oh no!
and the girl and he goes, "Can I have a hug?" And she's like, "I'll be back in a minute." Every time there's like they're about to almost make contact, the decoy the decoy boy or the decoy girl will be like, "I'm just gonna go to the next room and grab a drink," and then Chris Hansen comes around the corner and goes, "Looking to have a little fun, are you?"
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, "Whoa,
You planning that pizza all by yourself?
that's a lot of pizza."
What, do you know how old this girl is?
Going for a little swim? Chris Hansen's coming along really well.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Planning to fuck a minor? And then they have their little
Can you
chat.
imagine the first thing he says when he comes around the corner? I need to fuck a minor?
Do you reckon he knows it? He plans it? Because he comes around, he always says
He's got
something.
to have a zinger.
He always says something about the circumstance, like planning to go for a little swim or something like that.
Yeah. Hungry much?
Hungry for pizza?
Hungry for bootsy?
And he's always so calm. He like comes face to face with a pedophile, which is
He's
like
got to be.
You're doing the sting. Like you're coming in and being like, and unfolding the looking at the printed off chat logs. And he's like, so you're not gonna do anything. Well, it says here you said, I want a blank all over your blank.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Smooth transition.
There's no way around this.
No.
It's just, it does make me feel a little bit sad.
Well, it's just like
to watch a mentally handicapped person get what's it called when you get hooked?
whipped.
No.
Beaten?
No.
Molested?
No. When you get like lured into a crime.
Yeah. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, sucks to suck. Fucking don't go for the bait. What are you, a fish? You fucking You fucking yellow belly. What are these fish called? You fucking peta tuna. You tuna file. Going for a little bit of worm, I see.
Oh my God.
You've
What
been
are
swimming
your
around.
fish?
Your fish going for the bait.
Hook, line, and sinker.
There's
my
a word
friend.
for it, and it's illegal to do it when you. Everyone would be screaming at the podcast right now. Bikes. There is a name for it when you are lured into a crime. When you are
Your accomplice?
No, it's a word. Fucking hey Siri, what's it called when you're lured into entrapment? Entrapment.
Isn't there a movie called Entrapment?
Yeah. Practice in which a law enforcement agent of their state induces a person to commit a
Sucked
crime
in.
that person would otherwise been unlikely or unwilling to commit.
Haha.
So it's like that's the question is like, are these handicapped people, would they have, I mean, I guess they're on the side. I just got to move off this topic because it's getting real dangerously
Let's start
close.
off with pedophiles, everyone.
It's getting dangerously close to being like, can we go easy on pedophiles, you
Yeah.
guys? Because here's the thing you need to understand. They're all, I think about this all the time with, because I remember talking to, I won't say their name, but you know them. Whatever, doesn't matter. Point is, I was talking to them about, sort of made fun of a kink.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, very seriously, don't kink shame.
Oh,
Because
my goodness
they
me.
live in the kink world and they do that. And obviously, we're in theatre. We know a lot of people who fuck around in the kink world. But I instantly was like, no. I'm like,
No, fuck you.
because there are kinks that I think should be shamed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I'm like, eventually...
Well,
If-
the kink for
where does it
pedophiles
end?
is I like to have sexual relations with people underage.
Well, that's the one I was like I've really can't
Now
get around.
that's the one, everyone, that I was really not keen,
that's
not
not
on board.
that's not the
for.
one I was making. I think I was making fun of furries or something. But then like there is this thing where
You're
age play.
about to start a thread. We're about to get cancelled.
No, I'm not. If these fuck off.
No, I'm on board.
Yeah, so it's a thing where people will regress to a younger age and then fuck around with each other, or like we know
I know who
people
you're talking
who
about,
have like had bibs and
Yep.
diapers and
Yep.
eat like kiddie food and then
Yep.
fuck each other, or like
Times.
read a bedtime story to their partner and then fuck them, and that's the sort of shit where I'm like, stop it,
Stop it, please.
Stop it.
No.
because
Toddlers don't fuck each other.
it's edging dangerously close to.
You'll just get yourself in a bad situation one time.
But what you're doing is you're engaging in illegal activity in a consensual environment. Sure, behind closed doors, do whatever you do, but like the desire to do that illegal activity is somewhere in that. And then they'll be like, no, it's not. It's about regressing and then feeling comforted and safe. And I'm like, fucking
No.
build a
Take the diaper off, please.
build a pillow fort or something.
Yeah.
Cuddle and
Play
watch a
some
movie.
Legos
Why do we have to fucking wear a diaper and eat
and a chuchi.
fucking alphabet-y spaghettis and then finger each other?
Oh.
It's wild. It's wild. So I think some kinks could deserve a little more shame.
I don't like the argument of, I mean, it's all body dysmorphia things, isn't it? Us as the two experts here, a bit of couch psychology.
There's no body dysmorphia when it comes to
No,
wearing a
I was
diaper and getting fucked.
I was progressing into
Into another.
fairies.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
But that's the thing. Go for it because they're not hurting anybody.
No.
And they're not engaging in an activity that touches an illegal area.
Mm-hmm,
You know.
I do, however, don't think that schools, because everyone has to be very politically correct, should let the kids bring a litter box into class and shit in the corner.
Because that can't be a real thing.
No, it's a thing.
That's
like,
shut up. That's got to be some article.
It's not.
That can't
because
be real.
the
Children
kid-
can't shit in front of other kids.
The schools
What
are
schools?
putting, I don't know,
Stop
like
it.
Smooth transition.
Children shit. No, I can't Google that.
furries.
Classroom litter box?
Yeah.
Classroom litter box. Litter boxes in schools hoax. How an urban myth about litter boxes in schools became a GOP talking. Litter boxes in schools, how disruptive and demeaning hoax Are there really litter boxes being put in some public school? But it's a hoax. You're fucking.
But it could happen. It might be happening in America.
I don't think it's happening.
You just give it time. Give it time. There'll be a litter box in every fucking classroom.
This is the wildest
Just
take.
smack them.
This is more wild than me being like, hey, to catch a
ease
predator,
up on
can we go
pedophiles.
easy on the pedophiles? Or can we at least like...
I think we should start again.
If you see...
I don't want to be bothered.
GMat. So what else is going on?
Not much. We did School of Rock for 3 weeks.
We just finished the... Sorry, the podcast hasn't been dropping very heavily, gang.
Dude, where are the other two?
We've all... Like, I've been too busy to do... Because I have to organise it. If I don't organise it, it won't happen. And I've been... I haven't even been doing my own content. Let alone the podcast. So
I think people are going to start getting sick of seeing me. I've got fucking pimple patches on my face. I don't give a fuck anymore. I put so much makeup on for the first episode. Now I don't give a fuck. Y'all can judge me if you want.
Just been 3 weeks of doing this show. I haven't had time to do it. We'll probably work it out this week. Get the boys in.
I was waiting for a burp.
No, it's all underground. Yeah, it was fun. We did School of Rock. It went off. It was very successful, except for that one show.
That Wednesday.
That
That was the first show I watched.
The watch drop of a show.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tell you what. So there's a scene. Well, I've started referring to anything that's just shit as a watch drop. Like that was a watch drop of a drive. But we did this show, right? And there's
the first break. It's the first break of the season.
So we had a weekend of shows and we took Monday, Tuesday off. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off.
Yes.
And then we came back for a Wednesday show. Ellie. Quit it. Ellie.
You can probably hear her slopping in the mic.
Fucking Sloppenheimer. So. Ellie, get down. You're distracting me. So we come back for the Wednesday show. There's an opening scene, Geordie and the boys sing. That goes, fine.
Oh, yeah. The opening number's kind of the same every night. It's fine. Everyone knows what they're doing, blah, blah, blah.
And then
there's no wiggle room to
fuck up too bad.
Yeah.
So then it comes into our scene, and we're like the first scene in the show.
Our is Ned Schneebly and Patty coming into the apartment.
So we come into the apartment, and I'm like, do we have to do this now? And she's like, yes, he's trashed the house. He's got to start paying his rent. I'm like, no, blah, blah, blah. And we do that, and then we go into his room, and we're like, pay your rent. You guys have seen School of Rock. You know how it works. So in that scene, we're coming in from the lounge room to his bedroom. We're like putting our coats on, like we're going to get ready for work. And that day, Connie, who played Patty, was like, I don't have as much to do because I don't have like stuff to put on. So I'll
getting ready to go to work.
She's like, I'll put my wrist down and you do my watch up for me because you're such a little bitch, like in the show, I'm a bitch. And I was like, I don't know. I don't like doing fumbly things like that. I don't like doing that on stage. I have sweaty, fat little fingers. I know I'll fuck it up. We've done it. We've never done this before. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but in front of 500 people, I didn't want to be fumbling around with a watch.
Don't try new things.
So I said no. She said yes, and so then we did it. And
what happened, Matthew?
we go out. I'm trying to do the watch up. I can't.
Here's a wrist.
I'm like, oh, dialogue, doing the
Mind you, none of the dialogue is happening either.
It's not going well because I can't focus on the dialogue I'm trying to deliver because I'm trying to do up this fucking watch. And then
Connie goes, oh, just let me do it.
Yeah, in the scene she says, let me do it. And then jumps back into her dialogue. But her saying, don't let me do it, and then jumping into the dialogue didn't feel natural because it wasn't written for any line to be in there. And then she goes to do it and flings the watch across the stage.
Yep.
And it goes, and she goes, and starts her dialogue again and just powers on with her dialogue.
There.
Yeah. So it was like like it was just fumbly and weird. And then we went into this. And then I'll tell you what, I don't want to say the entire show was our fault, but the rest of the show was dog shit.
Yeah, it was cursed.
Everything that could have gone wrong.
So I was there with the president. I was sitting with the president and his daughter. The choreographer was on stage as Snake and the director was in New Zealand. So I had not have any reference to how the other two shows went because I was in the first one and backstage for the second one. Yep. So I'm sitting next to Sean going, have we put this on stage twice? and now I'm witnessing the absolute shit show that I have created, assistant director. What the fuck is going on? The mics were fucked. Your scene was just off the rails.
Just all over the place.
Yep, the set wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. It was just, it had legs.
Dog shit. It was dog shit.
Yep.
It was bad. The kids were
dreadful.
Just not like they were
Sorry,
not focused
I shouldn't
at
say
all.
the kids were dreadful. They were really tired.
Yeah.
And when they're tired, they don't give Dara much. Dara, who plays Dewey, has obviously 13 classroom kids. And when the kids are down and low in energy, he doesn't have anything to bounce off. So then he can't like get into the rhythm because if he has to ad-lib and stuff, he's not awake because he's just like, okay, well that line was missed and that line was missed. Where are we?
Yeah.
It was just like, and the audience was super sucky as well, but I think that's because the show sucked.
It was rough.
It was rough.
But all the other shows, standing ovations and
Yeah.
fucking just knocking it out
They
of the
all
park.
pull it together by the like second half of Act 2 because it's just like rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
And like in Stick It to the Man or You're in the Band when the kids play for the first time.
Oh,
that's
it
all
goes
good.
off its tits.
Yeah. Because like
I would have
you
loved
see
to have watched it from the audience one night.
you get to see a little 9-year-old playing guitar.
Yeah,
It
shreds.
goes off.
Goes off his absolute tits.
Playing the bass.
He's way better guitar than I am. He's fucking unreal.
He is probably the best guitarist I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh, no. Ben's a better guitarist than him.
I haven't seen Ben shred.
Not Ben, Jay. Ben in the pit. Yeah.
Si comprende.
Yeah, he's a wildly good guitarist. Yeah, I think
That's
Ben
his guitar teacher.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like only for like the show, right?
No, that's his actual guitar teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a long road without you, my friend. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. So the show, that watch drop of a show was fucking atrocious.
And like Act 2, Connie, when she's yelling at Dara, she just turns around and just gives you the...
She was halfway through her dialogue. She's doing this like, how could you do this? This is blah, blah, blah.
I don't feel safe.
I don't feel safe in this house. And that was it. She just went blank. And that's a nightmare. I don't think that's ever happened to me before on stage.
You just blank.
Where you just blank.
Because you can kind of just get yourself from A to B. Like you can make up stuff. Like if you blank on stage, right, you're like, well, I have to get to point B. We're already halfway there.
But blanking means you've blanked and you also have nothing. Like if you forget your line and then you work yourself to B, I don't think that counts as a blank.
No.
If you get on stage and you do and you've forgotten your line
and you don't know where you are.
And you're also like...
You don't know how to get out of the scene now.
And all you are is silent. I think that's a blank. And
Yeah.
she fully blanked. She said like, come on. Like something like that.
Yeah, she went, seriously. And then turned around to you and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Connie.
And it's like she has to go, I don't feel safe. You're sick. You need some help. And then I go,
You're supposed to interrupt her.
Come on, Patty. That's enough. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, well,
come on, Patty.
When it comes to like, when you hear someone forget your line,
your brain also shuts down.
Your brain goes, it doesn't shut down. Mine didn't shut down. I went to, how do we get to the next bit?
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I'll just jump to the next line because it doesn't not make sense. It's not going to feel good.
But
I'll tell you that for free.
It's something.
So she goes silent, says, seriously. And then after like 4 seconds of silence, I grab her arm and I go, come on, Patty, that's enough.
Yeah.
And
it looked like you had forgotten
looked like
your
me.
line.
It looked like I forgot to interrupt her.
And then you yelled at her.
Yeah. And I was like, come on, Patty, that's enough.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to go.
Yeah. I'm going to go kill myself.
I'm going to walk off stage and I'm going to probably kill myself. Yeah. Nothing worse than a fuck up. Like, what's the like most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on stage? I don't think
embarrassing.
I don't think I've had a blank or anything like that.
No one saw it though.
Okay.
In my last Defying Gravity that we did in Wicked, you have to sit inside the mechanism that flies up. So have to not hold anything. And I've got the book and the broom.
Yeah.
And someone comes over and gives me a drink of water. They also take the broom and the book while I get strapped in because I have a harness underneath my costume they have to pull up. So I just have to get my arms out of the way.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like a straightaway change. It's really quick. So they like went to go, and then I realized that my broom and the book were gone, and the props lady had just left with them.
Yeah.
And my mic's on the whole time because I have the cue line to start, let her go. It's not her, blah, blah, blah. And they raise the curtain. But I couldn't yell. So there's no one on stage. I couldn't yell out to anyone that my broom was gone because the whole point is the broom is making me fly.
Yeah, I would have just grabbed the broom.
And
I would have just gone with it.
I'm like silently like motioning in the wings, but doing like a motion like this. I was like, where's
and someone's like, "Ooh, I think Sienna's coming on to me."
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Or you've been like, "You fucking wanker."
Yeah, literally. And then the props lady like sprinted on. She's like, I'm sorry.
Dumb.
And just ran off.
That's the worst.
Yeah. There was also there's been moments where we've like kind of stopped acting because something just terrible has happened on stage.
Yeah.
And like we just stopped to look.
Yeah.
When Aiden forgot to come on for Catch Me If You Can, that newspaper scene.
Rough.
So Geordie and I had a scene together in Catch Me If You Can where we're reading the newspaper and I'm a flight attendant.
So in the context of the show, it's jumping back and forth between Geordie
where we are at the airport versus at the FBI
and
office.
you're both reading the same newspaper article, and it's going like the flyaway man, and then you would say blah blah blah, and then back to him like blah. So they're reading the article two different locations.
So Geordie has the dialogue and Aiden has the dialogue.
Yeah.
And there's myself, and then there's the three agents. So Jesse, Guada, and Ben.
Yeah.
Were on stage, and
Aiden just didn't come on.
Aiden just didn't appear. It's fine because Geordie and I start off the scene.
Yeah.
And then it jumps over to the FBI's. And Jesse obviously has not seen that Aiden's not there.
Yeah.
His line when he runs in is, hand ready, hand ready.
Oh, no. I didn't even think about that.
So he's run in and he's not there.
Yep.
And not that we've noticed because we're not looking there. And both Geordie and I just stopped doing what we were doing and just looked over and we're just watching Aiden just not be there. And like Jesse, bless him, was like, if Henry was here, he would say.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And
which is a rough cover.
Yeah.
Like, but same deal. He's not blanking. He's going for something.
Yes.
And when you're covering, it's never going to be smooth.
Nah. And the bad thing was that side never said the dialogue because it was all Aiden.
Yeah.
So they're trying to remember how the news article went.
Yep.
And then like I think I said one of the lines that it was
if
just
Hanratty were here, he would say that's so fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like
and then
good awful to be in that situation.
The only thing that was going through my head was Aiden's had a heart attack and died.
That's what, because I was in the audience, because I was Aiden's understudy.
Yep.
He'd been really unwell. I'd already covered 2 dress rehearsals for him, or 1.5.
I was like, Aiden's
I'm going
dead.
on stage.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm also not just going on stage. I'm going on stage
now
after he's already done
the big
number. And they're like that's as good as Aiden gets.
Yeah.
And then to be like, hey, you know that guy that you all just gave a standing ovation to? Someone else is going to do the rest of his role for the rest of the night. And that's all went through my head. I was like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
This is like
there's no redeeming number for you.
Oh my God.
You got Man Inside the Clues.
It's like covering like playing after the Beatles or something. Fucking rooted.
Yeah. I we were already worried about Geordie's health, and like Aiden was unwell too.
Yeah.
I thought that tap number killed him.
Yeah.
I thought he had collapsed in the wings.
Yep.
And that was, ladies and gentlemen, that was Goodnight Moon.
I had my because I knew a lot of Aiden's, like I knew a lot of the dialogue. But I'd done a system where like every time, because he's an FBI agent, every time he can have a flip book in his hand, I wrote the lines for those scenes.
Yep.
And the ones where he can't have a flip book, I memorized just to like half the job. And I kept that flip book in my jacket pocket the entire run because he was unwell.
Yep.
And when he didn't come on stage, I went like this.
just
touched it to see if it's
like,
there.
Holy moly.
Yeah. I had a embarrassing moment. I was doing Chicago. Not the most recent Chicago, the one I did in 2013 or 2012 or something. I was playing Billy, and Billy comes out on Billy Flynn, and you're meant to be like suave, suave, sexy, and you got to have like control of the room.
Yeah.
And I come out. He's a lawyer, and I come out and I go, it's like you come out for the number. There's like
the fan.
We want Billy. And then it's like, and and I from behind these stairs, I come up over the stairs and it's just the silhouette from behind me. So it's a cool entrance moment. And I do this. Everybody here, is everybody ready? Hit it. And I'm going down the stairs. And I went, I don't care about expensive things. And it was worse than that as well.
Yeah.
It was like just missing one step. I was like, I don't care about expensive things. Cashier goes,
I don't care. Fuck expensive things.
I don't care about it was
Hyperextend your knee moment.
so obvious. Like I didn't cover it at all. I just went, who cares about expensive things? Fucking embarrassing.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Oh shit! Fuck.
Yeah.
That was my favorite bit in Noises Off when I went to deliver some lines and I was like, this is Mrs. Click. Fuck me. And I like slip over paper. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck me.
Fuck me.
I was thinking about one you did when you're coming downstairs saying that in Act 3, saying the sardines are gone, and you walk past the full plate of scene, you go, and the sardines are fuck me.
Yeah, that came like late in the
run.
In the run. No, I think it was like in rehearsal. I don't know. Point is, it came later on. I was like, that's funny. When I go, and the sardines are fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
The other one I liked was Lizzie.
This is such inside baseball.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Fuck them. Lizzie in Act 3 when she spots the thing of whiskey at the very start and she like holds it up to you and as she's turning around to walk away she goes, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And like the whole audience just erupts. It's the first time I hear her swear.
Yeah.
So good.
Good stuff, Lizzie.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed your Noises Off.
That was lots of fun for like one of the most like traumatic, heartbreaking seasons of rehearsals and stuff. It ended up being such a like fun experience and
like
a good
every
time,
audience
good vibes.
member just loved it.
Ate it up.
Yeah, like it was not cringe funny. We weren't laughing because the dialogue was funny and that it was written funny. You guys were funny as the characters.
That's why it got so close to having a second season, which is rare. Mm-hmm. Almost.
But like the set was awesome and like you guys just fucking crushed it.
Yeah.
Like each person who played their character, I can't imagine now seeing it done by someone else.
Yeah.
Even though I watched the movie and stuff, it's just like you guys are.
It isn't because we're like we did it Australian, which is not how it's done. I've seen like
your real characters are Australian.
Yeah, so for people who don't know Noises Off, there's like you're putting a play on with it's a play inside a play. So the play is people putting on a play. So the actors are American and then the characters are like British farce characters.
Yes.
Or in the context of the original, they're all British. It's British actors, but then when they did the movie, they had American actors, and then Ben, who directed it, was like, "Fuck it, let's just do Australian accents as the actors." And then it just like we just fucked around with the dialogue so much to make it feel more like we were actually Australian, and it just ended up being brilliant.
You're just like, mate, these fucking sardines. Yeah. That was a good line.
Yeah, but sadly, during the middle of the season, the a friend of ours who was playing the part that I ended up playing passed away. So we had to reconfigure, move things around, work out if we still wanted to put on the show, and we all decided that we did, and we put all of the proceeds,
everything
went to Lifeline, and it was just it ended up being a really beautiful, fun, awesome time.
every person who bought a ticket was actually contributing to the donation, and it was awesome. Like they came out at the end and they did a really, really nice speech after every show, kind of explaining, why we put it on in the first place, and what it hopefully it brings a positive message and awareness and etc. But I think he would be proud.
I remember
proud of everyone.
Yeah, he would have been. I remember the ridiculous part of that was Dara, who also played Dewey in School of Rock that he did. He came out and he's such a great talker. He's just such a good human being.
Yes.
He's the perfect person. If I have cancer, I want it delivered to me by Dara.
By Dara,
him to
big
tell
time.
me.
Yeah.
But he's always been on the podcast as well. You guys have seen Dara. He came in and pretended to be Aiden. But they said, Dara, you do the speech. Because Dara was playing the director in the show.
Yes, yes. But I don't think anyone else could have done it as good as Dara anyway. No. Yeah.
And when we did the relaxed performance for School of Rock, he came out and said,
"That's right.
Hi everybody, my name is I'm playing Dewey. Here's what the lights will do. Here's what because it was a relaxed show."
He's like, just because Nicole's yelling at me, she's not a nasty person. She's lovely.
Yeah, he's a gem. Anyways, he's doing this speech about our friend and passing away and the proceeds and
Yes.
and every night he gave this speech that was beautiful, but he's doing it in the context of the play. He has to fill in for a character. So but the costume doesn't fit. So the costume, his tummy's hanging out the bottom of the shirt.
Yeah,
and
he's playing a burglar, but he's wearing the same size costume as this really frail old man.
Yeah,
and it is like a crop top, and his little pudge is just hanging out the bottom.
It was such a perfect. It was the perfect way to do it. Such a
The
half
fact that he had to take the sock off his head as well.
Yeah, I remember the first show he did. He said, "This is ridiculous that I'm dressed like this, but like I really want to say something important." And everyone was so like, no one was like getting swept up in the ridiculousness of that situation.
No, not at all.
People were like, he could have done that speech with fucking nipple tassels on, and it would still bring a tear to your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful time, good stuff. Do you have any notes? Let's talk about something funny. Let's talk about some fucking funny shit. You don't have your phone, do you? Let's talk about some fucking funny shit. Bikes!
Matthew.
Yeah.
You like a good drink.
I guess so. Yeah.
You guess so?
Yeah.
Can you tell me when you have gotten to the stage of being too drunk? Now, I don't drink very often. I also don't get drunk very often. But you, my friend, I have seen in lots of mental states.
I like to get a little fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get fucked up enough.
I haven't seen you sick.
No.
But I know you've gotten yourself sick.
Yeah. I don't get drunk enough to ruin. I get fucked up but make the party better.
Yes.
Is my
you
general,
bring the vibe.
I bring a vibe. There's only been one time where I brought...
You're not a loose Bruce.
No. Yeah, Loose Bruce has been known to bring down the vibe. Mm-hmm. And I know he's probably listening to this and he'll hear it and he'll
Bruce, stop throwing glass when you're drunk.
He knows. He knows Loose Bruce is not a...
Loose Bruce is really funny when it's like the early stages of Loose Bruce.
No, because that's just drunk Bruce. I love Bruce. I love drunk Bruce. I hate Loose Bruce. Loose Bruce is a different person.
Loose Bruce...
It's an alter ego I could do without.
Okay, so drunk Bruce poured a whole bag of potato chips on your floor and then proceeded to walk on them and turn them into dust. And then when Matt walked in, he had to then pull out the whole fucking vacuum and plug the cords in and vacuum up. And then Loose Bruce went outside and threw glass onto the pavement.
With the dog.
With Ellie. We had to clean up glass.
He also, I went outside and he stayed indoors, shut the door behind me and locked me out of my own house, staring at me through the glass door, and then lit a cigarette and smoked it inside, staring at me through the glass. I could put up with all of it. I could put up with all of it, but it's the arrogance that Loose Bruce looks at me going, "What are you going to do?" Yeah. And he wants me to hit him.
Yeah, big time.
He's pushed me before. He's pushed me on. Fucking hit me. Do it. You're not going to hit me. And I'm like, I'm going to clear you out. Yeah. And you're so wasted. You can't win in this altercation.
Not at all.
You'll go to throw a punch and you'll try to use your knees. Mm-hmm.
Geordie doesn't know what Bruce looks like because that party, he was dressed as a ghost and he had the sheet over him the whole time.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Dara's coming to this party as well. I'm so excited to see Dara. I love Dara. We got to share a dressing room.
Everybody that I have had the pleasure of working with and with Dara has just adored him. Yeah. He is a fantastic human being and we don't deserve him.
No, me and Dara and Geordie shared a dressing room at School of Rock, and I'll tell you what, we demolished that toilet. I don't think I've ever caused more abuse.
That whole bathroom just smelled like Play-Doh and poo.
Yeah, we took a run at that, Dunny.
You punished that poor
All of us did.
Yeah, you witnessed.
Yeah.
You were...
And we were pretty unsubtle about it. Dara would come out and be like, "I fucking ruined that thing," and I'd go in and I'd be sending videos of me going, "Pfft." And then Geordie goes in one day to do a poo, and it's like a shotgun blast going off, and then I just started giggling. Yeah, we caused.
You're like, one of us, one of us.
I'm like, Geordie, are you a fat guy on the inside? Yeah, we caused havoc. Anyways, my birthday. Yeah, looking for... Oh, wait, what was the question? Have I... Yes. So, usually I just get drunk. I bring the vibe. I don't think I've ever had a girlfriend or anyone Like, I did have one girlfriend who didn't like when I got drunk. She was just a bit of a fucking loser.
Matt, you've only had like 2 girlfriends.
I've had 4 girlfriends.
Is it 2 that this universe know of?
No, this universe knows of, like, so when I started doing content, I was dating Holly.
Yeah.
And then started dating Beck. But it's the high school girlfriend I'm talking about.
I see.
So now I'm narrowing it down even further. So
Yeah.
she didn't really like when I got drunk. She used to like get a bit eye rolly. But every other girlfriend I've ever had, friend, loves Matt on the bevs. He's good vibe.
He's good vibes. Good
Also,
vibe.
when you get like I'm not an angry or a jealous or a mean drunk. I come home and I'm like, you're the prettiest. You're the prettiest. And it's not even like, come on, give me a kiss. I'm just like, did you know that? Did you know that you're the smartest person in the whole world? You know, and I'd be like,
did I tell you I love you today?
let me tell you,
I love you.
here's the thing is, if an angel fell from heaven,
If an angel fell.
and then I just go to bed. I'm not like, give me a kiss. I'm just yeah, that's it.
Darling, can you grab a special bucket, please? Because Daddy had a big night.
I become like an Elizabethan lord, just being like, if a million ducks fell through, if I could see a million ducks flying through the sky.
Babe, do you like poetry?
Let me tell you a poem.
Poem.
Roses are red, violets are blue.
Yellow.
Come over here, I'm gonna finger you.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I get.
That would be the lullaby.
I get very sweet when I'm drunk, but I get sweet with my friends as well. Anyways, the one time I took it too far was Bruce's house.
Oh, payback's a bitch, Bruce.
Yeah, he was living with a roommate, a friend that we knew, and his sister, living in a house together. And I didn't know that many people. And I came with the intention of, I'm like, tonight I'm getting fucked up. Because
you might not make it home.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'll get an Uber home, we'll be fine. Like, I'm happy to get fucked up. And it's like, when I say I'm getting fucked up, it's not like I'm, gonna vomit stuff. I'm just like, I'm gonna have a good time and I'm gonna drink heavily and we're gonna have a good vibe.
Yeah, we'll just see. I'll just deal with it tomorrow. Yeah. Is the problem.
I'll take the hangover.
Yeah.
And I was trying to bring the vibe, but it was like Bernie, Bruce's sister.
I thought Bernie was the cat.
But Bernie was my old cat. Bernie was Bruce's sister. She had friends who were like kind of like hip, cool uni students. And I mean, we were uni students as well, but they were like first year cool fucking Brunswick, cool hipster people.
Yeah, vegans.
Bruce's friends were like intellectuals. And then this other guy, it just the people that weren't getting me. And I was being a lot. Like, I went up to someone and I was like, hey, I'm Matt. I said, what are you drinking? And they go, and I just took the drink and just finished the entire drink.
That's yummy.
And I was like, that's good. And they're like, he's a dick.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's a gag.
It's
like,
funny.
It's funny. And I thought it was funny.
Excuse me. I worked at the cafe for that drink. And I just don't appreciate your tone.
It was kind of like that. They were like, that was anyways. I got to cut that out. Matt, cut that out.
Or don't.
If you're editing and you're half paying attention, Matthew, come back to the bikes. So we did Goon of Fortune. That was when things started to loosen up.
Can you cut that and both of us just yelling bikes on the camera? You're playing Goon of Fortune.
Goon of Fortune, which for those who don't know, a goon bag is a boxed wine. If you break open the box of a boxed wine, there's a plastic sack, aluminum sack that's just full of wine. So in Australia, when we play Goon of Fortune, everyone was starting to loosen up. This is when people were starting to get me.
This is on the washing line?
Yeah, so people were starting to understand me. It was the vibe was better. And I brought a lot of weed.
You might need to explain what Goon of Fortune is.
So you
for those American listeners who may not have clotheslines.
On the clothesline, the spinning clothesline, you peg the goon sack to the clothesline. Everyone stands around the clothesline. You spin it, and whoever it lands on drinks.
So there's singular bag.
Yeah, or like you do one on each side. You can do. That's Goon of Fortune, like Wheel of Fortune. You spin this wheel, whoever it lands on drinks.
Wheel of Fortune.
But so I had a joint, and I was like, "Oh, this will be fun. We'll light the joint. Everyone here wants to smoke because they're cool Brunswick people. We'll pass the joint around that way. We'll spin the thing. People will be smoking, having
and
a thing.
drinking. Yeah,
and then like loose Matt I lit up another joint and passed it the other direction. So now there's 2 joints going around this clothesline circle. And people are like doing a little thing. And I'm taking big jean jacket, fucking 80s. Boom! Big hits on this fucking thing. Like I feel like Fonzie. I'm ripping these. Mm-hmm. And it came to one point where they were like, both joints hit me at the same time. And
oh my God.
Oh! Hey, mama said the way you move. And the whole thing about like, if you don't smoke that much, and I didn't really smoke that much, I smoked socially. Mm-hmm. So if Ellie, oi, Ellie, fucking hell,
bikes.
If you're not used to smoking, you shouldn't drink and then smoke.
Yeah. Is that called greening out?
No, greening out is just when you smoke so much you pass out. Like
okay.
It's like blacking out, but with weed. Like when you're greening out's just like a gentle way of like being like, I smoked a lot, I'm going to bed. You know.
Right.
But it's like it's a different kind of. It's people will get dizzy and vomity. If you drink a bunch first and then smoke, it can activate like nausea and dizziness and that sort of stuff. So you want to smoke first, or like just smoke a little bit, then drink, and then you can smoke later on. It's just if you're not used to smoking,
or you do it at the same time.
You can do it at the same time. The point is, you should not get really, really drunk and then smoke weed.
Right. Okay.
Even if you're like a seasoned weed smoker, it can still get you a bit dizzy. Mm-hmm. And then people don't deal with the dizziness.
No.
Like the room starts to spin and that's what makes them vomit.
That's game over. Yeah. Once the room starts, like when you lie in bed.
And it's going, roo, roo. You're like, good night, moon.
Yeah. That's not fun.
So I'd drunk to the point where I was like, and I'm taking people's drinks and finish them. Like I was a knobhead. And then we're passing around these joints and start smoking.
Do you lose energy though? Like you get like really, really like happy tipsy and like you do, but then you get like just fucking, now you feel unwell. Do you like go from 5 minutes of crazy to then like I need to stop drinking for like half an hour and let this settle down?
Do I? Yeah, because I started vomiting.
Like you're like.
It was like I can't remember the exact process, but I remember.
I'm sorry, I'm wriggling around. My fucking legs are sore.
I drunk a bunch, started to smoke, and then something happened where I went, all right, I'm gonna be sick now. I'm gonna go off and vomit, and I didn't make it to the bushes. I just got on my hands and knees and vomited on his lawn. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't tell you. All I remember is I couldn't get up. No. Like I'm trying to get myself up and I'm like.
Because it was just like the dizziness.
The dizziness. Like, and I put my hands in the vomit, slipped in the vomit, was rolling around. So I'm in his backyard. Everyone's pretty like calm and cool. And over in the side of the garden, you see some guy rolling around in his vomit.
Motherfucker, yep.
And in my head, I'm sober and I know there's a problem. And I'm going, this ain't right. Like I'm not sober, but I'm having a conversation with myself. I'm saying, all right.
Oh, my limbs aren't doing what they're supposed to do.
I'm like, all right, Matt, this is weird. You've done something here. And I was like, have you been drugged? And I was like, no, you know what it is? You smoked. And then like I'm able to have these thoughts of myself. And I'm like, all right.
You're able to self-diagnose?
Yeah. And I'm like, what are you going to do? How are you going to get out of this situation? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, because your legs aren't working. So I called my girlfriend. I was like, hi. And she came over. I'm like, Houston, we've got a problem. And she was like, oh God. I'm like,
you just say beep, beep, beep.
I literally had to just say, green before beer, you're in the clear. Beer before grass, I'm on my ass, or whatever the fucking rhyme is. And I was, and so she helped me to the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And Bruce brought me this cookie jar that was shaped like donuts stacked on top of each other, and I filled that bad boy to the brim. And I was like, okay, all right.
There's got to be nothing left.
And they came in, they're like, how you doing, bud? I'm like, all right. And I'm like lying on my back. I'm like, all right, guys. So here's the deal. I'm being so like scientific about it. I'm like, I'm pretty fucked up right now. All right? But but I'm not as fucked up as I look. And obviously they're going, yeah, sure. Yeah. I'm like, all right. So I smoked a joint and now I'm having a bit of trouble. And I was like, all right, I've got my first rehearsal for Shrek tomorrow.
Fucking hell, Matthew.
So the next day was the first rehearsal for Shrek, the musical.
Big, bright, beautiful
It's
world.
the song we did. We did Big, Bright, Beautiful World. And, which a big chorus number ends with me
It's
bursting out of the toilet going,
oh
a big, bright, beautiful world. And it's a big number. Just me. Anyways, that was a nightmare in its own. So I'm like, we go, all right, I need someone to call an Uber. And that's my girlfriend's there. I'm like, you need to get me home. And I'm like, I'm so sorry about this. I'm now a problem. And she's like, I get it, babe. It's totally fine. We'll get you home. I was like, swiggity sweetie. And then so they call the Uber. They get me out to the Uber and put me in the Uber.
Lolo!
And the Uber driver's going, did he vomit?
No.
And I was like,
I fucking rolled in it.
yeah. And I was like, no, I haven't vomited. He's like, it smells like vomit in here. Has he vomited? And like, I hadn't vomited technically, but I was covered in vomit.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I didn't vomit. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to everyone else, I've just shit myself in the backseat of the Uber. I can't tell you how that happened. I'm just sitting there and I just let a shit go into my pants. And I was like,
Stop.
I'll tell you exactly what I said in my head when I shit myself. I went, SpaghettiOs. I said, SpaghettiOs. And I'm pretty sure I said it in my head, but I could have said it out loud.
There's poopy in my pants.
So I have vomit on my
in the back of it.
I have vomit on my front, I have vomit on my back, and I've got vomit
on the side.
on my
On the side.
on my sleeve. And now shit in my
Poopy.
pants.
That would have been on a fucking waterbed in that car.
it was what, and it was a long trip.
How long did that cost you? How long? How much?
I couldn't even tell you. We went from Preston to Baldwin, so that's quite a trip.
Yep. That's expensive.
So yeah, we get there. Now my girlfriend didn't know I'd shit myself. She knew I was covered in vomit.
How the fuck?
So
How do you not know? Babe, what did you eat?
now, I'm so fucked up.
You smell so much like vomit, it just masks the smell of just straight up feces.
He was upset. the guy.
I bet he was.
And
You shat in his back seat.
so justified. And I walked in the house and I was like, I want to go to bed. And I threw myself into the bed and passed out.
No shower.
No, went in the bed with the clothes still on, vomited shit. She went, that's happening, and she slept on the couch. Keep in mind, same deal. She knows I was fun. She knows and she was a cool person. So she was like, do what you got to do. And then I woke up in the morning and I was like, instantly, fuck. First off, I've got to go to my first rehearsal for Shrek, and I feel like
You need to go to the hospital.
I felt like I had to go to the hospital. My mum get heart palpitations. And then I get up and I'm like, oh, that's right. And now the poo in my pants is like,
It's hardened.
It's
hasn't
hardened,
it?
and
it's hardened around your ass hairs.
it's crackly and hurty. It is a shock that she ever fucked me again. But
I'm surprised you didn't pour gasoline over the bed and just let you go to
well,
God.
that's it. She ended up just like tossing everything.
Oh, you cannot put that through the washing machine.
And
you
luckily,
have to throw the washing
I
machine
had my
out.
clothes on, so it's like, and I was wearing jeans. Like it all stayed within me except the vomit that went on the sheets. So like, thank fuck, like the mattress protector wasn't even fucked up, but we still threw that out.
Yeah, but just
And
like,
the
'cause
mattress
it'll
was
smell.
fine. She like smelled the mattress. Like, all right, nothing smells in here. This is good.
I'll smell worse.
But I remember coming out, like I just went straight to the bathroom, took my clothes off, burnt them. They went in the bin.
Burnt them.
Everything I was wearing went straight in the bin.
Yep.
Like even the jacket,
Yep,
like just
yep,
everything.
yep.
And then I had the shower, the best shower I've ever had in my life. And I came out like shivering, like in a towel. And I walked into I was looking for her. And by the way, I fucking can barely remember a thing at this point because it's fresh. And I'm like,
You're recounting as you go.
I'm like, she must be mad at me if she slept on the couch. And I walked in, she's like, morning, baby, how you feeling? And I was like, oh, thank God, I thought you'd be mad at me. And she's like, that is both like the most disgusting and funniest thing I've ever seen you do. do you need me to drive you to rehearsals? And I was like, bless you.
Please.
Bless you. I'm like,
She's much more calm than I was when Dylan got alcohol poisoning.
well, I didn't get alcohol poisoning, you know? So
You're just a fucking
I was just
G.
And by the way, like, I was drunk, but not drunk. It's like the Lyrebirds. Remember when I said I vomited after Lyrebirds? I only had like 5 or 6 drinks.
Yeah.
It was just something was going on.
I remember you on the dance floor and you just like, I don't know where the fuck I am right now, but I love this song.
Oh no, I'm talking about the one that you didn't come to when we showed up to your knock on the door.
Oh, that one, yeah.
That night I vomited. I hadn't had enough to.
Hey guys, wrong house, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Lyrebirds you're talking about, I had gastro. And then I was on the dance floor sweating, and I was like,
I remember because you were like, I don't know where the fuck I am. You were dripping with sweat.
yeah, because I was like, I'm here.
Yeah.
It's not going to take much alcohol to fucking get me drunk because I have gastro and I've got like Ambien in my system. Not Ambien. Fucking what was I taking? Like I was taking proper drugs and alcohol, and I was like, oh yes, I'm drunk, and it's been like 2 drinks. This is the best, and I'm just dripping with sweat.
Beer.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
So that's probably that's the time I got the worst.
I'm not as nice as your girlfriend.
Well, the thing is, it's the same deal. I'm only hurting myself. I didn't upset her. I didn't do anything. I was a pain to deal with.
I would get embarrassed on your behalf if I was.
I just think like it's well beyond that. Like we didn't know any of those people.
Okay.
You know, like sure it can be embarrassing, but you're like, you're not gonna feel anywhere near as bad as I feel. You know, and she was having a drink and vibing with like people.
Yeah,
and she's like,
I suppose it's like a different crowd. They're like, he's just another guy we invited to the party.
Yeah,
not like you're personally. That's how I felt. I was like, I'm personally responsible for you now, and I want to kill myself.
Usually, I'm also like life of the party. So she's like, you know what? 9 for them, 1 for you.
Yeah,
you know,
big time.
You go on, have fun, kid. Fuck. It was that sort of vibe.
I would love to tell that story of me turning into a mum and being like, okay, this is funny. Good on you for socializing. Now it's a huge problem and I want a divorce. Was when Dylan got alcohol poisoning at our cast party.
Yeesh. What did he do that really pushed it over the limit?
So he'd never drunken before in his life.
No, but like, what was the thing that he did? Were you mad at him for getting drunk?
This is what happened. I said, we're sleeping over at this party because it's rehearsal weekend.
Yeah.
So we don't have to drive anywhere.
Yep.
It's like, he lives in Faulkner. We're in fucking Traralgon, which is like 3 hours distance from his house.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're sleeping there. We're not driving home. And he's like, I'm going to get a bottle of whiskey. I'm going to drink that for the night. And I was like, cool.
You must have been having fucking PTSD today when I was like,
yeah, he's I'm going to get the whole bottle of whiskey. Every time anyone's like, I'm going to buy a bottle of whiskey, I'm like, oh, just don't. Anyway, I was like, oh yeah, I'll grab some cruises. We'll have fun, you know, and like that'll last you ages. We got there, opens the whiskey, and he takes like a shot, and he's like, woo, you know, like alcohol has no effect on me. And we're in Wicked, so I don't really get time to talk to the ensemble because I'm always at a different place. I'm not in any of the ensemble stuff, so I don't get to rehearse with them. So I was getting to know them, and I was off in another room with like majority of the ensemble, and he just disappeared for about 45 minutes. And 45 minutes later, he comes back with an empty bottle of whiskey. Oof. 45 minutes. It's a proper Jack Daniel's bottle of whiskey, like a regular size one. And he like drank the last lot in front of me. He's like, look, and it was gone, and he was fine. And then maybe about like 10 minutes later, he like just, someone said to me like, he's not looking good. He, in that span of someone saying he's not looking good, fell on the host's kitchen table, swiped her heirloom vase. Yeah, so that's on the floor. Instant problem. Shattered, glass over everyone, and vomited all over the kitchen bench, which the fresh pizza that he made, pizza that he ate. And then we took him to the bathroom. This is a brand new house, by the way. Yeah, he's already done worse than I did. Yeah, put a hole in their wall because he slipped off. Oh man, he slipped off the chair and the chair slid into the wall, punctured a hole in the wall. He's vomited all over the bathroom. There's fucking broken glass everywhere. And he was like that for the next 6 hours.
Yeah.
He would not stop vomiting, and like he'd vomited all over his clothes. Yeah. So we only brought one pair of clothes. We took him upstairs on the blow-up mattress, and I was like, I have to sleep here. You cannot vomit on this bed. Yeah. You cannot vomit on the carpet. I took him into the bathroom. He like couldn't stand up, and like I'm in there trying to get him undressed, get him in the shower, because you can throw up in the shower, it's fine, it'll go away.
Yeah.
He like was telling me off for helping him, and I was just I was like, I wish you would choke and die right now. You've ruined my night. You've embarrassed me in front of everybody. And then he like got a there's like these little ramekin things that you put like cotton pads in for your makeup removal. Yeah. And he like slipped on the bench and smashed that on the floor. So I had broken glass in my foot. I had him in the shower, and I was sitting on the edge of the shower picking broken glass out of my foot while he's like throwing up.
Yeah.
Then we put him in the blow-up bed. He vomits all over the bed, so we've got nowhere to sleep. So I'm taking off my clothes now and putting my clothes on him, because he's now run out of 2 pairs of clothes. And then it's 1 o'clock in the morning and he's still vomiting. I'm like, I have to take you to the hospital. Because when he first vomited, when he slipped off the chair, he smashed his head on the wall. And I was like, you may have a brain injury now because you will not stop vomiting. And I was like, I'm taking you to hospital. And he's like, I'm not going to hospital. And I'm like, you're going to go to hospital because you've trashed this brand new house. I don't know what to do with you. I don't want you to choke on your vomit while you're sleeping. There's nowhere for us to sleep now.
Yeah.
I've been drinking.
Might as well go find a bed.
Yeah. So we were arguing with him for an hour because he is the most fucking hate that guy. He just would not. And like the other girls at the party were like, dude, it's not funny anymore. Like, you're being a tool. Yeah. Get in the car, go to the hospital. And he's like, just leave me outside with a fucking hose, I'll be fine. I'm like, oh my God, I'm responsible for you. Get in the car. So we're on Matthew Lulu. We're on the phone. We're on the phone to like a nurse online, and I'm like, you know, he's stubborn. He's saying he's fine, but he smashed his head like 6 hours ago and he won't stop vomiting. She's like, he might have a bleed on the brain. Like, you need to take him to hospital. Yeah. And I was like, he will not go, and he doesn't have ambulance insurance. And she's like, can anyone drive him? I'm like, yes, we can. He just won't go. She's like, you need to make him go.
Yeah.
So we drove him to the hospital, and this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's got nothing on him, and I need all of his Medicare stuff and like his private health insurance because we've driven to the closest hospital.
Yeah.
And I've had to ring. So his parents don't sleep with their phones upstairs. They have like a no phones in the bedroom rule, which is fucking ludicrous because in emergencies.
My parents do the same thing, but they have a landline.
Yeah, but the landline is downstairs.
Oh.
There's no landline in the bedroom. So I'm like, the physical only way I'm going to be able to contact this fucking family is ring the landline, so the dad will have to get out of bed and go downstairs and answer the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hello, it's me. I'm so sorry. I am at the hospital with Dylan.
Oh, man.
He is wasted. He also slipped and bumped his head, and I need to get him checked for a concussion. He will not stop vomiting. I'm so sorry. Can I please have your Medicare and your private health insurance card over the phone so I can write this down? So I'm then with the triage lady, and he's there saying, I'm fine, nothing happened, I'm fine. I'm like, shut the fuck up and stop lying to this woman. Like, he's being a dick to this nurse. He's like, she fucking brought me here and blah, blah, blah.
Oy, oy, oy.
And I'm like, you smashed your head, cunt. Get yourself in there and get checked now. I'm like, I'm serious. He's been vomiting for like the last 6 hours, and he smashed his head on the wall, and he's probably got broken glass in him somewhere. Get him into a bed now. And he was just fighting her, and he was fighting me. And I was like, I was so close to crying that I just wish you were dead. They got him into a bed. He was, vomiting, and I had to sit by the bed in the fucking freezing cold all night. I should send the Snapchat video of me, like, with my hood tied up so you can just see my eyes. It was so goddamn cold in that hospital. And then his mum rang me at like 7 o'clock the next morning and yelled at me for taking him to the hospital.
Why? Because
she's like, you should have just, she was so mad at him. She's like, you should have just let him like die on the grass instead of like worrying about him and taking him to hospital and staying there all night and blah, blah, blah. And I thought I was doing the right thing, but she was just mad that he got that drunk.
Yeah.
And that I took care of him.
We're going to have to end this podcast. These dogs going fucking mental.
Smooth transition.
So my mum's on the phone to his mum and she's yelling at my mum and my mum's like, he's okay and blah, blah,
Jesus
blah.
Christ.
And she's like,
why all the yelling?
oh, because she's just like so embarrassed by her son.
Yeah. So the
just
instant
like-
difference there is that I'm not an arsehole when I'm drunk.
No.
And like if something like that happens and I make a mistake and I smash something, you know, mistakes happen, but you go oopsie doopsie. Even wasted drunk, I'd be like, oopsie doopsie. All right, I'm going to remove myself from this situation because I'm going to make
You
it more
just have that. You have that self-awareness still.
Everyone has that in them.
When have you been too high? When is because I've never smoked weed before, and I don't know what it's like because I'm a good little gal.
It's nothing bad about smoking weed.
I'm joking. I'm a little cuck, is what it is. I'm too scared of my own brain. What is it like when it's nice, and what is it like when it's bad?
Oh, I mean, it's not like you're not like taking mushrooms or anything. You know, you're not having a bad trip.
See, I don't know what the trip.
The trip is like tripping out or like taking mushrooms. You're
That light's about to go.
L. What do you mean go?
The back end of it just slid off the. Anyway, keep going.
You're hallucinating. You know, mushrooms are. It's a hallucinogenic.
Like when all the ham on the pineapple pizza turns into worms, kind of thing.
I don't know if it like some shit like that can happen. Like I know story. Like I was just listening to Shane's podcast, and they're talking about they all took mushrooms and like proper mushrooms, and he's like, everybody had 4 eyes, and like shit like that. And that's when he was like, things were whack. I didn't like that. So
is that just because it like
depends what you have? Like I was about to say their name, but I've never had mushrooms, but I like the couple of people that I know who've had mushrooms. They said it was just like a friend of mine had mushrooms, and he was like, I was looking at a painting, and the painting was just vibrant and alive, and it was awesome. I just sat there and watched it for 2 hours. It was moving. It was like, you know, it was that, but he didn't look at someone and they have like a snake head or some like crazy shit like that. Like everything was still normal. He would just like, there'd just be a bit of a wobble in some cool art, or like you'd be watching the TV and it'd almost be like the TV was
lifelike
was coming out outside of the boundaries of the actual television. And
Yeah.
it was like, it was sick. It was awesome. It just sort of enhanced life, which is why people microdose, which is where they have like a minuscule amount of mushrooms at the start of the day, where it just like, it's like an antidepressant. It just gives you a little bit of,
just a little pep in your step.
yeah. But weed isn't like, weed isn't hallucinogenic. You can get hallucinogenic weed, but it's mixed. Like regular weed that you get is just weed. It just makes you feel high. It's like, the best way to describe it is it's like being drunk. It's just a different thing. It's in the same vein, you know? It just make you feel a bit like relaxed. Like if you were sitting down right now, we'd be so fucking comfy right now and be like, I'm just
sinking
into this chair, and I'm stoked about it.
So I just remember like that
Giggly, you gotta be giggly.
the one party where Aiden was like, I'm back in Germany.
If you have heightened anxiety or you are anxious, like you need to go into it with a good mindset. And I went through a patch of time where every time I smoked, I had pretty much an anxiety attack because it just enhances your, emotions. And like, if you are anxious and you smoke weed, some people it'll calm them down. Some people you'll be like, this has made me more anxious. But the good news is it'll be gone in 45 minutes. And if you've had a bad go, you can talk to yourself and be like, I don't feel so hot right now, but I know my throat's not closing up. I know I'm not having a heart attack. Like all of this is just feelings that I'm enhancing because I'm high. So I can't really have a bad go anymore. Because if I feel a little bit off or I get inside my own head, I'll be like, go outside, feel the cool air on your skin and you'll calm down. 95% of the time, it's a wonderful time. Yeah. And if you have a bad one, you go, all right, this is bad. And if you have a good trip sitter, which you
Trip sitter.
someone who's there with you, be like, hey, you'd be like, just tell me what you're feeling. Because it's important to just talk about what you're feeling. You'd be like, I feel like my throat's closing up. And I'd be like, it's not. You know, it's the heat might be like swelling. You might have coughed a little bit. It's just like, it's the regular feeling you would have if you were sober. But now that you're high, you're overthinking and you're getting inside your head. It'll be gone in 45 minutes, you know.
What has been like have you had a trip before?
Like a bad time? Not trip, because I didn't they've never hallucinated, but like, I don't know. I've had times where I like really genuinely thought like I couldn't swallow or I couldn't breathe because I got so high. There was one time, we got these. It always happens with edibles. Everybody has an edible story, and every edible story is the same story. I took an edible.
Aren't they because they're super concentrated or something? Like it's
they are, but it's also
so
that like
full on.
it's also that they can hit you at like different times. Depends what's in your stomach already, how quick you're digesting. Like every story is, I had half a cookie, waited an hour, felt nothing.
Had another one.
So I went, all right, I'll have a quarter, and then I saw Satan. So it's
saw
like,
the devil. You're going to see the devil now, boy.
Because that half is kicking in finally. Because it does kick in. It will always kick in. Never sit there thinking it's not going to kick in. It's going to kick in. And you won't feel nothing. You'll be feeling like, I'm not feeling anything. Like, don't do anything. If you're feeling nothing, that's your night, okay? Just don't take any more. If you've taken some and you're like, you felt it, and then an hour later you're still feeling it, but it's not much, then maybe you can take some more. If you're feeling nothing, it just hasn't hit you yet, and it will hit you.
Like a fucking freight train.
But the thing is, it hits you, and then also the quarter you ate on top of that hits you, and now it's too much.
Fuck.
Because the difference between, like, you have a cookie and you cut it in half, the difference between a half and a quarter is substantial. So I had I can't remember what I had. It was maybe oil. It was some sort of edible. And I was on another planet. I was doing this thing where I kept saying to Beck, okay, I'm back. And she was like, what? And I was like, all right, I just keep like losing chunks of time. Like I'm just here. I'm here right now. I'm present. I feel almost sober, but I know I'm about to go back into being really high, and I'm not going to talk for like 45 minutes. It was like that. I kept popping in. I kept being like
sorry, I was going to go on the space mission.
I was going through things, watching telly, having some food, having a shower, but I just kept becoming present and sentient every like 30 minutes.
Fuck.
And
it's like disassociating when you're driving. You're like, where
exactly.
am I? How did I get here?
That exact thing over the course of an entire evening. So I'd be like, oh, I'm in the shower.
How the
and
fuck
I'm like,
did
how
I get
the fuck did I get in the shower?
Who took my undies off?
And I just I remember just washing my balls again and again and again. I just kept washing my balls and ass.
Did you just keep forgetting?
Because I'm like, did I wash my ass? I probably should wash it again. I just sat in the shower for like half an hour washing my ass. And then I get out and I'd come sit on the couch. I'm like, thank God I'm here now. I'm like, all right, here's the situation. I know I'm stoned right now. I'm pretty present. And I'd be talking like this. I'm like, I'm pretty present. I'm pretty here. I know I'm high, but like I'm with you right now. This is sentient Matt. Hello, how do you do? I'm going to be gone in a second.
The phone's going to disconnect.
Hey, it's GMat here from The Real GMat, and don't forget that if you enjoyed this episode of the GMat podcast and you want to hear more, we also have the podcast post show, which is available exclusively to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/GMat podcasts. The podcast post show is a shorter episode recorded directly after the regular podcast, where we wrap up the episode and talk about the things we didn't have time to talk about. Don't forget to rate this podcast on your podcast app of choice and share it with all of your friends.